I struggled with, let's call it dieting for probably about 30 years. I struggle with commitment to dieting. I struggle with commitment to just being healthy and fitness. I struggled with overall commitment to it. You know, it was just never a big part of my life. It was something that it always bothered me. Weight loss was, my appearance, my body was an issue for me. But I guess we were just so consumed in everything else that it always took a backseat to everything else I was doing. That struggle impacted my life tremendously. Everything from my self-image, my lack of worth in my self-image, affected my day-to-day life from fourth grade having to change in gym class to going to pool parties with other kids and not wanting to go, all the way up to consuming the first 25 minutes of my morning on deciding what I'm going to wear and the balance of 3 hours thinking about how shitty and terrible I feel and look. And that's up until recently. Keto, HCG, Jenny Craig, some of the most bizarre diets you'll ever hear in your life. I've done them all. I've tried them all. Adderall, weight loss. I've done it all. I never had a problem losing weight. I just never had the ability to really understand how to keep to it. It was a vicious cycle for me. So, it was, I would be good for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and I'd lose all kinds of weight and then think I could reward myself. And then I would, go out on a Friday, I'll get back to my diet on Monday. That was the only consistency in my life when it came to dieting. My consistency was poor consistency. You feel like you lost a lot of your life. You lost a lot of big parts in your life and things you should have done. When if you just met the right person much earlier on who could really showed you how to do things the right way, kind of sucks to know you're never going to get those parts of your life back. And to me, they were big parts. I was embarrassed. We would take our kids to Turks and Caicos every summer, and I'd be embarrassed to walk down the beach with my son. When you look back and you say, like, it's not that hard when somebody kind of shows you the right path and how to approach it. The caveat to that is you look back and you say, wow, I lost so much time in my life. I wish I learned sooner. That's my biggest regret. I was intimidated by the whole process. I'm a guy who I'm hired to go into companies and take them from small mom and pops to well into eight-figure size companies. And I'm never intimidated by anything when it came to my career, when it came to my success, when it came to my family. Nothing stopped me from any of that. This was something that I was roadblock after roadblock. And it didn't only become seeing what I wanted to look and feel like. And it's not just look now, it's feel like from the inside, feel the strength, feel the energy, feel just the overall wellness. I never thought I had the ability to change that whole mind process that I have now. He has given me just knowledge, man. And this has turned into a process that's like, it's not even hard anymore. It's just become who I am. I think my overall weight loss so far is 31 pounds. Somewhere in that vicinity, 31 pounds. I have changed my schedule to make sure I'm home for my family on certain nights at certain times. And when I'm here, it is spent quality time. It is not looking at my cell phone or, answering an email. He's changed my entire bedtime routine on how I go to sleep and get a good night's sleep. I mean, it's crazy. Kevin's program helped me overcome my struggle in every which way possible. I think a big part of the failures were when you start to feel restricted in diets and you feel that you're really limiting yourself, it's harder to stay that path, and really enjoy what the results are. It was small bites. It wasn't trying to, take on the beast alone. And I think just those little slight changes really helps a mind like mine when it comes to this particular situation, learn to adapt and learn to see things much differently. The one thing he always made me focus on, which I was never able to do, was like really see yourself as you want to see yourself. Like see yourself and know you're going to get there. You can get there. It was a huge change in my mental thought process, how I view myself. The mental teachings from him were 70% of this. Him really teaching me that I'm not too busy to do this. That there's a time in your life where you need to make time for yourself. And actually doing that at this level really showed me how to do it for other things. It's to work 120 hours a week. If you're not making the time for your family, it doesn't mean anything, and the nutritional aspect of it, and not making it feel so diet-esque, if that's a word, or more of just a complete change and reevaluation of every way you look at that part of your life. It's just funny that because everybody asks me, well, what is he? Is he a nutritionist? Is he a life coach? Is he an executive coach? And I never found the words to really explain him other than I did my research. I interviewed with him. I loved him. I'm like, this is the guy for me. There's no comparison. There's no comparison. I work with trainers. I work with nutritionists who tell you to eat 1,100 calories a day and, food that tastes like garbage. And yeah, you'll lose weight. And then you're sitting in a room with 20 other people that have been back there 4 times already because they've done nothing but lose and gain. Working with Kevin is just different. He's the guy who changed my life. I mean, when you think about it, he's given me my entire life back. He's such a genuine person, and he cares so much in what he teaches, and he has so much pride in what he does. And he wants nothing more than for you to succeed. One way or another, he's going to find it. And I think that overall person that he is really the biggest driving force. He's not I would never call him a motivator because that would be an injustice to what he does. He's passionate, he cares, and he's going to make sure you're going to succeed. If you don't succeed in Kevin's program, it's because of you and nobody else. I would say coming from someone who had a completely poor outlook on dieting and programs, and especially trainers and advisors, was one thing I would have never considered. I've been there at its worst, man. I've been up to almost 300 pounds, and I've been all the way down to 211. I'm doing that from 12 years old, and 30 years later, it's never been shown to me like this, and I've never felt like this going through the process. So anyone who's considering, I would say, don't sell yourself short and go for it. It's going to be the best thing you ever do.